What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Corey's Garage, brought to you by Reese Motorsports, your home for the Franken-7 drift car project. I'm your host, Corey. Today was quite an eventful day. Finally got some good work knocked out on the car. I got the handbrake plumbed finally. It only took me 27 tries trying to make the perfect double flare for the fitting to go into the handbrake, and then running the line to the back to a little T, and then running 2 lines out to each caliper. But I finally got that done, and looking pretty good, actually. I was pretty impressed with it. It turned out well. It just took forever. It's like nothing is quick on this car. So I got that did. I got the dust shield that I ordered a while back for the transmission installed, so I had to take the drive shaft out. Got the dust shield installed, had a little snag issue, but got it fixed, and then got the drive shaft back in, and then finally got the axles installed onto the diff and into the rear hubs. So if this was running, it could move on its own now, but it's not running yet. I went ahead and ordered a new crank position sensor and cam position sensor. The ones that were in this engine, not only are they probably original, so if that be the case, and this is a 2004 engine, if that's true, they've been in there for a long time, and they may or may not work, and that may or may not be what's causing our no start issue. But we fixed the fuel issue last night, and then actually got the 2 sensors from O'Reilly Auto Parts. It was like $113, which I felt like was ridiculous. So as I'm checking out, or after I checked out, I guess I should say, I looked on Rock Auto and I could find the exact same sensors they had. I think one was like $11 and the other one was like $19. So after tax and shipping and a little discount they send me, what is it, like 1%, maybe 5%? Anyways, it was like $34 ship for both sensors. Excuse me. So return those, and I'll be waiting on those new crank sensors because this is budget minded. So there's a huge difference between $34 and $113. So yeah, so hopefully get those this week. They did ship today. They sent me an email. They shipped today, so maybe they'll be here by the end of the week. And then I finally took on mocking up my exhaust, and I'll show you how far I got. It's not pretty, it's not done, it's just tacked in place, but it was fun to do, except for the very end. Just basically was working my way from the header collectors back. So I got all the way to the muffler itself, and I was having a lot of trouble kind of positioning it where I wanted it, and it was already like probably 2:45, 2:30 by the time I finished in the morning. And the last cut I made was not 100% where I needed it, so and I just felt like it was getting way too late and probably making way too much noise already. So I just went ahead and called it a night as far as cutting and grinding and all that. But turns out, if you are careful and you take your time and you draw as straight as lines as possible, you can make mostly straight cuts with a cutoff wheel. It turns out you can't rush it. You have to be as precise as you can be and just take your time. And kind of like how, like for instance, when I was cutting the brake lines to make the fittings, you know, you have your little tool that you kind of tighten up, spin it around, tighten up a little more, spin it around, tighten up a little more, and usually about your 3rd rotation it cuts the tube. Well, I was doing kind of a similar technique with cutting this exhaust pipe with a cutoff wheel. So I would draw my line, very careful, very slow, and try to get it as straight as possible. And then I would just rotate the pipe and hold the grinder in the other hand, and did that probably 5 or 6 times to finally cut through it, and made some pretty decent cuts, I think, for the all things considered. But I'll show you what I got. Like I said, it's not pretty, it's not finished, but it's a good starting point. I was going to finish welding it up tonight, but I'm just exhausted and it's late, and there's way too much stuff in here to catch on fire. So I don't want to risk that now. So what I'll probably end up doing is get the car off jack stands, roll it out, use this space, clean it up, and use this space to weld everything back up. And then once I feel like it's pretty good, I'll roll it back up and install the exhaust. But I need to get some rods for to make hangers and some little rubber donut doohickeys to actually hang it, because I had 2 bottles of antifreeze and some little wood blocks to kind of hold it up as I was building it, because you know, a full exhaust system, it's heavy, and 3-inch pipe, it gets heavy after you add all this stuff together. But I'll show what I got so far. Again, don't judge me, it's not done. But so we've got our 2-into-1 Y pipe right there with our little V-bands, which again, everything is just tacked in place. Nothing is perfect. So just got, you know, little tacks here and there to just kind of hold the pipes together. One little flex section. I wanted to add both, but I don't know if it's necessary, and I was running into space issues. And then it sucks because this was tacked in place right there, and then as I was dropping it down, it just happened to snag on, I guess it's clamp, and then when the rest of the exhaust came down, it broke the tacks. So basically that'll be, I guess, the last piece to go on, because I'll kind of mock this back into position and then tack it back and probably drop it again and then weld that and then put it in the final time. So anyways, we got our custom little I guess flex pipes, down pipes if you will, the Y pipe, the 3-inch glass pack for a resignator, and then just 3-inch pipe all the way back with his minimum bends. Thankfully they are mandrel bends, so there's no crush bends anywhere. And just a 3-inch piece of pipe I got at Pep Boys on that going out of business sale. Now, so that's, you know, obviously not the finished product, but that's a good start. And basically just weld all the seams, add some hangers, try to figure out if I can add that other flex piece somehow. And if not, just hopefully that sticks together and doesn't crack and doesn't break. But for a $99 3-inch mostly polished LS dual exhaust swap kit for a Bel Air, I mean, it worked out pretty good. It had all the bends I needed basically. It just kind of sucked because I had my muffler sitting on our fun little jack and a couple, like 3 blocks of wood just to try to halfway position it, and then of course I bumped it, and wouldn't you know, got a nice little dent right in the muffler. But at least where it's at, it's going to be covered by the bumper anyway. So I'm trying to have basically, like, say this box was the edge of the bumper. I'm trying to have it just barely stick out like that, if at all. Just maybe just even with the bumper line. But that's kind of my work in progress. But anyways, that's pretty much the progress for today. It doesn't seem like much, but it was a lot of time, just cause, you know, each one of those bends was a separate piece of pipe essentially that I had to cut and clean up and deburr as best I could, and then tack it into place and then move on to the next piece. But that was pretty fun. I wouldn't want to do it again laying on my back. That sucks. If I had a lift, this probably would have been finished and looked a hell of a lot better. But I think for a DIY exhaust for $100, well, it's probably all in all, it might be $200 by the time you add in the muffler, the glass plaque, the Y pipe, and the flex pipes. But even so, $200 for a 3-inch custom 2-in-1, you know, no crush bins at all, mandrel bin exhaust system with V-bands. That's a pretty good bargain in my book. So, anyways, car's looking pretty good. It's looking like it's almost done. I mean, I got those sensors on the way, and what I was running into with that was with that Lingenfelter conversion module. It's supposed to have a little LED light, so when you first power it up, it's red, and then as you turn it over, it starts doing its thing basically and picking up that signal from the reluctor wheel, and then it's supposed to turn green, telling you that it has a valid crank signal. A valid crank signal, and the LED turns green, and I was not getting that, which had me a little worried. But then I was like, well, the sensors are probably cheap to replace, so I'll just get new sensors and I'll ohm out these just to see. Now, I don't have the specs for what these sensors are supposed to ohm out to, but one was 547 ohms, I think, for the cam, and the crank was like 1100 and something, which seems super high. So they might actually be shot. I don't know. If that were the case, I would be very happy just replacing some sensors, plugging that in, turning the key, well, hitting the button, and it's starting up. But we shall see. I still have the, let's see, the map sensors on its way in the pigtail. So I'll have to take the intake manifold off anyways. And then, yeah, finish the exhaust. I may or may not use that muffler. I want to because my wife got it for me when I guess we'd had a big fight or something. This was like 2 years ago. And she saw that it was saved on my eBay page, and she went ahead and got it for me. It was only like a $30 muffler, but money was super tight at the time. And yeah, she went ahead and got that for me as a kind of a gift and as a way of saying, you know, I believe in you. I want you to do this car. Money's tight, but here's one more piece to the puzzle. So thank you, dear. That was very sweet. For time and space, and you know, flash forward 2 years, and just for the fun factor, it would be kind of cool just to have just a big 3-inch polished, you know, tip out the back. But I might still use that muffler. I don't know. I gotta see. Like I said, I'm kind of ran into space issues as it is. So we'll see if I can make it work. That'd be cool, because that was kind of my point, was to have it kind of, you know, error correct, like that 80s 90s RE Amamiya style dolphin tail muffler, except for of course, you know, it is a little eBay special with the neochrome tip and all that. So but we'll see. We'll see. That's not the end of the world if I don't use it. I want to use it, but if space and time is a issue, then I guess time really wouldn't matter, because it's no real deadline. I wanted to have it done by LS Fest in September, but as it turns out, with my current work schedule, I'm actually scheduled to work that weekend. So I tried to switch with a guy, and it didn't work out. So I have 2 vacation days I can use this year, and I might go ahead and pull the trigger and use them for LS Fest if the car is done and running. If it's not 100% though, I don't know. That would be a lot of risk to burn up the vacation days for the rest of the year, and either not get the car down there, or get halfway down and have a big breakdown, or, you know, a million things can happen. Or everything I did and triple checked when I did it holds up, and it makes it down, and we have a great time, and makes it back and have an awesome story. So I don't know. What would you guys do? Anyways, it is 3:15, so this is about the time I get home from work anyways. So I'm going to go shower up and hit the sack, but just want to give you guys a little update. The car is almost done. I did adjust the rear coilovers up, so to lower the rear back down, because there was basically like a finger gap on the front tire and the front fender, and like 2.5 finger gap on the rear. Now, one thing with, you know, running long tube headers and a full exhaust system is you probably won't be able to hardcore live the low life like I wanted to, but I'll go as low as I can and still keep it functional. But I was kind of hoping to have it pretty low just for fun. But we'll see. I might have to tinker with it a little bit, but 3-inch exhaust pipe is pretty big, and it's still round. It's not like oval pipe or anything. That would be sweet. But anyways, just want to give you guys a little update. Let you know we're still making progress. It's just kind of more touch and go nowadays as compared to, you know, a month or two ago when it was just boom, boom, boom every day. But just want to keep you guys in the loop. Thank you to my subscribers. I can't spit it out. Thank you to my 25 subscribers, and hope to keep some good content coming for you guys. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, let me know. You can leave me an inbox message, or find me on Facebook. I think it's Corey Reese 9 if you were to search for me, or it's a picture of me and my son as my profile picture. otherwise, yeah, everyone have a great night, and hopefully we'll get some more done in the next few days, and I'll let you know where we're at. Thanks.